Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Anna. I'm a UX UI designer, and today I'm going to show you how to put the vision and value statement into use with some concrete examples. So it's important to recognize that whenever you're using tools in the product toolkit, you're actually using them to facilitate a conversation with your product team. So if you're familiar with this brilliant design researcher named Indy Young, she kind of lays out a framework that I think has been super beneficial for me in the way that I think about discovery, research, product solutioning. She basically lays out a framework that is divided into your problem space, your strategy space, and your solutioning space. It's important to keep in mind that whenever you're using this product toolkit, we're actually sort of in the solutioning space already. Now, that doesn't mean that we have all of the answers already. It just means that we kind of already have a solution in mind, but this is a chance for us to get together with the team before building something. Done a little bit of research already, and now you're trying to hone in on why this product exists, why you need to build this tool, who you need to build this tool for, and what value is it going to bring to the users. It's really helpful for clarifying uncertainties when your team members are sort of in this place where they can figure out which user story to bring in which sprint, why it's important. This tool is really helpful in letting you hone in on the initial vision and why you're doing this in the first place. And it's really helpful for you to set your overall goals, which will determine your user stories, which then will determine what features you're going to be developing moving forward. So today, I want to show you a concrete example. Let's walk through how I would typically use this vision and value statement tool, and let's go through that together. So stay tuned. We can start out by laying out the challenge or the particular problem that we're trying to solve. Now keep in mind that we're already in the solutioning space, which means that we're assuming that we've done a fair amount of research already in the problem space and in the strategy space. Now in this case, I'm already going through the convergence phase in the double diamond framework, and I'm already deducing it down to one how might we statement. And in this example, I'm using the challenge, how might we reduce the amount of leftover food in our fridge? Now, notice that I'm not focusing on the solution or the particular app yet. So I'm really just formulating a how might we statement so that we can formulate our hypothesis moving forward. Now we can go ahead and write our vision statement. Now again, this is assuming that you've done a fair amount of research to get to this point. But you can use this template to really ask yourself, what are we trying to build? Who are we building it for? And why does the solution exist? Now in my case, I'm using a food app, for example. This food app exists for home cooks so that they can minimize their leftovers. Now to get to this point, it's important to understand that this really is and should be a conversation between you and your product team. You're not finding the solution yourself, and it's really a collaborative effort that you and your team should discuss and brainstorm to get to this food app solution. Now that we have our vision statement, we can now create our value proposition. This is really asking two things. Who will benefit from this, and what will they find valuable? This is going one level deeper and really specifying who your user types are. So in my example, there are lots of different kinds of home cooks, and it's important to understand and categorize their behaviors. So in my example, I categorize them into 3 different user types: people who do not want to waste food, people who are budget conscious, and people who like to cook at home. What will each user type find valuable in this app? For people who don't want to waste food, they can create dishes from leftovers. For people who are budget conscious, they might want to avoid spending money on takeout or dining in. And for people who like to cook at home, they might find it valuable to find recipes that will inspire them to cook at home. Going back to the double diamond framework, you're really in this insight or definition phase when you're using your vision and value tool. Ideally, you've done a fair amount of research already, and you're using your insights to help you identify the specific problems you're trying to solve which can hopefully lead you to brainstorm with your team on the particular solution to solve that problem. Now, keep in mind that this is also a living document, which means that you can use this and go back to this whenever your team is feeling lost or whenever you feel like you're veering away from the initial vision statement. So that concludes our video for today. I hope you found that super useful. If you're really struggling to decide which user stories to bring in, which sprint, is this valuable enough, able to look at this and say, okay, this is why we are building this in the first place. So let's stick to our vision, let's stick to our value proposition, and let's base our goals and our features off of this united vision. So I hope that was helpful for you. Leave me some comments down below on how you would approach this, how you would typically approach this with your team. And as always, if you like the content of my channel, feel free to subscribe and like this video. And until then, I will see you on the next one. Happy designing. Bye.